What's up, YouTube community? Localjohn1812 here, and
Jrod84.
we're back again with another sports episode show for you guys, Sportscast, and some exciting stuff going on in sports. It's getting about that time.
Yeah. I just say, well, first we can start with the NBA playoffs. They're in full swing. It's only been about a week, but I just say, it's the first round. Things are getting a little interesting.
That's right.
We'll start.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess we'll start. With the. I guess we can start with the Eastern Conference. The top seed, Boston. You got the top seed Boston along with the 8th seed Chicago. I'd say the Bulls are surprisingly up 2-1, but but that came with a price. Point guard Rajon Rondo is out. For a couple of weeks. With a fractured thumb.
And not gonna be able to hitchhike anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, if he uses the other arm.
Well, I said you can always use the other.
But it's not good to hitchhike in these days because people are dangerous, including the hitchhikers. Do not pick them up.
Okay. Let's again back to that. I said, well, also, Boston guard Isaiah Thomas. He lost his sister in a tragic car accident the day before. Boston's playoff
game 2. Was it game 2?
Before game 2.
Which they lost, and then they won.
Yes, I said, but Boston came back. They won game 3.
In Chicago.
In Chicago. Game 4, I believe, is Monday. I believe it's Monday in Chicago.
Right. So, and without Rondo, I still think Chicago has the advantage there. And I believe when we were picking our games last week...
I just say... Yeah,
I believe.
Well, you picked the upset anyway.
I said it.
You picked the Bulls to upset the Celtics.
I said that they would.
Game 1 in the series,
and they did. Well, they haven't done it yet.
I just say, haven't done it yet. I said it's 2-1. I just say, the series is not over yet. Okay.
I think Chicago will win their next game, be up 3-1, and then they'll end up winning game 6. Then at Chicago eventually to close it out. So I think Chicago in 6. So, we're watching the game on what channel is this?
ESPN.
ESPN, Memphis and San Antonio. Y'all should turn it on there. It's a close game. So
I say.
Speaking of that, that's a 2-0, and depending on the outcome of this game,
actually, it's 2-1. The Spurs are up
2-1. Sorry.
I just say I say the Spurs are doing. Fantastic. They're the 2 seed, and and they still got a couple of old pieces, in Ginobili and Parker, and they got a lot of young talent, Aldridge, Leonard, Mills, Green, etc., etc.
Memphis has got some old pieces too. Zach Randolph, Gasol, and you also have Vince Carter. I mean, they've got some old pieces as well. So those are all interesting games. Other than that, I mean, looking down on our sheet here, just to jot off things. The most other interesting thing is Griffin not being with the Clippers. What's going to happen with that Utah series? And then my boy from Milwaukee, we can't pronounce his name, but the Greek god has been playing his butt off. So, but I stand by my Washington Golden State pick for the championship, and I believe Golden State will win. I think I'm doing good so far this year. It's a lot different than college basketball.
I just say yes so far. Okay, the Wizards are up 2-1.
Yeah, and the Celtics might get beat by the Bulls.
I just say it's possible. Anything could happen. Never know. Okay, and I see Golden State. They're up 2-0 on Portland. They're up 2-0 on Portland. Draymond Green has been spectacular these first 2 games of the series. I mean, now it's just been scoring. I mean, it really hadn't been scoring a lot of points, but he's also in rebounds, blocking shots, assists, steals. I just say, he's doing the little things. He's doing all the little things that are helping this team.
Well, speaking of little things. I stopped. What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Wait a second now. We had.
No, speaking of little things, I was thinking, When Mr. Calipari gets on his plane to travel to different places to recruit, what's the best little thing that he likes getting, on the plane the most? Is it the little tea and, crumpets, as in England they would eat those on a plane or something. Is there something little, like a donut? Does he just look forward to something really little because he's getting ready to do something really big for the university, go get this recruit? I always wondered about that. What's the little things the most that John Calipari enjoys? That's the answer we do not have. We can speculate about it for a few minutes here.
I don't know.
You know what? He is a religious man. Maybe he enjoys that little bit of time he's got to read the Bible or something. Or
well, you know what? I'm not sure. I said, well, I did see a picture of him earlier today, and I said where he had a pair of shoes, designed, personally for him, courtesy of Drake.
That's a good musician, a rapper, Drake, and I seen the shoes. They're Jordans, but right?
I think so.
Yeah, they had Jordan on the tongue. So
is them or is Nike or
something?
I'm not sure.
But yeah, so maybe the little things are. Maybe also he might enjoy just a little thing of looking back. Maybe he takes that time to call up some of his old players and stuff like that. I don't know. That's a question that if anybody's out there and you're on Kentucky sports radio staff or you're on some type of other affiliation with being able to talk to Kentucky and John Calipari, ESPN, somebody, you guys are not going to watch this. But if you happen to stumble across this, that would be a good question to ask him. What's the little things you enjoy? When you're on the plane, when you're traveling, when you're at home, what's the little things away from basketball that you enjoy? That's a question I'd like to hear answered. I'd like to hear that answered.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting question.
It kind of is. Like, he might be like, I enjoy playing Pac-Man or something. We would never think he'd play Pac-Man. I don't know if he plays Pac. I don't think he does. Maybe he plays Chutes and Ladders. Okay, so, speaking of him on a plane and recruiting, Bamba, I'm going to call him Bamba. Is it Bamba or Bamba? I'm
assuming it's Bamba.
6'8", or 6'11", sorry, from New York. 58% right now. Thank you 24/7 Sports, which are crystal ball predictions. You guys should go to that website. They are an awesome website, and they really give you some insight on the players and the people. I love that website. 58% right now to landing. I think, does that number, let me ask you this, does that number drop to a lower percentage chance if Bam comes back? Or does Bam and Bamba say we're going to do this together with Nick Richards? I mean, what do you think?
And I don't know, that's a big question mark. I mean, because, say if they don't get Bamba, and Bam decides to come back,
and you got Nick Richards,
and see along with Richards,
and Ty Wynyard and Wendy Gabriel,
you have, you probably have
you have
a decent sized front line. They can give you about eight to 10 points a night. They can go up, crash the boards. If they do get if Bam comes back and they get Bamba,
and they have Nick Richards, which they do already,
and they get Richards
and Ty sometimes.
Yes, and I do think possibly the Kentucky front line could be. I
think you play all three at once, but a lot of people say that's suicide.
I say that. Well, I don't know. You never know. I say it could be. Kentucky could have a monster front line, for next year. I guess, something similar to the 2015 team. Probably the only difference would be that rim protector. I mean, because that's what's been missing from the team for the last couple of seasons. That one guy, that protects the rim, at all times. Something like what Anthony Davis did,
or Nerlens Noel before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, he was good at it too.
Noel. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, they were down big. They were down, and they came back. the game on ESPN.
Yes, he's
referring back to the game.
San Antonio, Memphis.
We do this while we're
watching it right now. The Spurs.
Oh, they didn't call a foul.
Yeah, I mean
they didn't call a foul. He's gonna shoot a three. I don't know. All right. Okay, so Cameron Johnson's another guy, 6'8". He's a wing.
Transfer from Pittsburgh.
I didn't see a percentage on him. I could see him coming to us, but I also could see him going somewhere else because worried about what was it named, Jamel Baker, and he's already came over too. And you've got all these players, and you might have some other returning players. I don't know. Maybe not. He does have 2 years eligibility, so it'll be this year and next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I said he would, and it also said he shoots like 45 or between 41 and 45% from the 3-point line. I say, you know what, that would be great. I mean, because last couple of seasons, Kentucky's mainly had like one guy, that's been great from the 3-point line. This past season it was Monk, the year before Murray, et cetera, et cetera.
And so with him, and I just don't know. I'm still up in the air with him. Do we need him to make sure we make 1-3 a game? Maybe. But I'd like to keep that streak going. Where is that streak at? Do we even remember the number now? Because I heard him say it so many times this year.
Hold on. I'm trying to... Okay, because I think the 1,000th consecutive game, if I'm right, I believe it was the Alabama game.
Okay.
Regular season game.
Okay.
2, 4, 6... If I'm correct, it's 1,015. I'm not exactly sure.
Is that counting the NCAA tournament?
Yes.
Okay.
If I'm right, I'm probably wrong. I'm not sure.
But you're within probably at least 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
So, we need to keep that streak going. It's a very important streak. I'd like it to keep going. So we've talked about the 2 recruits that are left basically on the radar. Are we going to get 1 or 2? I lean towards we'll split it and get one of them. Nothing against Cameron Johnson. If you want to come play for Kentucky, come play. But I would rather have Bamba in this situation because I know we need Johnson for a shooter, but you can't teach height. Now, but Cameron Johnson's 6'8", so he's not no slouch either.
You know what I'm saying? A 6'8" wing, that can shoot threes. Hey, I'm all for it.
Okay, bring them both.
Okay, you know what? Just like Justin Jackson in North Carolina, he was 6'8" and he could shoot from the outside.
Josh?
No, Justin
Jackson.
Yeah,
Justin. So, I was thinking Kansas. Josh Jackson.
No.
He's not 6'8".
No, he's
6'4", 6'6".
6'4".
He's something.
Like
he can play though. Good player.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go with Bam. Bam's going to affect if Bamba or maybe even Cameron Johnson situation. Does Bam come or go? And thanks to the guys over at Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones and them, go on their website, KentuckySportsRadio.com. They do a great job of doing articles. They put one up about should Bam come back. And they had the Draft Express, Chad Ford, NBA Draft Net, CBS, and the Sports Illustrated. And they had all the rankings on there. And basically what we can tell you about where he was going to go on draft boards. And basically what we can tell you is this. None of them had him in the lottery. The closest one was 19 that had him being the highest picked. So, in my opinion, you're not lottery. You're better than being not lottery. You should be lottery. And the only way you're going to become lottery is either buy a Powerball ticket tonight or come back next year and then earn your way back into the top 10, maybe top 5 or number 1 overall pick. 2018 class is weaker.
Yeah. Okay, I would say so. Probably if Bam does come back and if they don't get Bamba, next year that could be Bam's year to just explode. He could possibly be one of the best big men in the country.
Right.
Because he has that potential. You saw it at different times, last year.
Yeah, and next year's people coming in, the draft next year, 2018 draft, is not as big with depth in the type of players as this year's. And so I think Bam should come back. Here's my dream. We get Cameron Johnson, we get Bamba, and Bam comes back. Kentucky's winning a national championship if that happens. Now, a lot of people say you can't say that. They've had better. Well, I don't know if we've had better teams than that.
Well, I mean,
not size wise, there ain't no way. Not
well,
Bam, Bamba, Nick Richards, Wenyan Gabriel, Ty. No, it's not.
Well, I'm okay. I just say, I mean, because we've talked about this. We've talked about this before. I mean, they've had multiple teams that could have and should have won the title. And not just Kentucky, several other schools have, but didn't.
If they played the best out of three, Kentucky would have won all those other titles.
Well, it's
single game elimination bullcrap. Look at old Vince Carter hurt his ankle. He needs to drink more milk. You know he has osteoporosis or some shit.
Oh, here he goes with the shade again.
13 points. He scored 11 points in the first half. He finally just scored 2. So...
Goodness.
So speaking of Bam, do you want him to come back? That's a dumb question. Yes, we want him to come back, right?
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, if he goes to the NBA, okay, that's fine. Okay, best of luck to you. But if he does happen to come back, okay, I'm okay. I would be ready. I definitely would be ready to see what he's like.
Yes.
I definitely would.
So let's get on to some little more depressing news for certain fan bases. This has been circulating all over the place. I heard it on ESPN Radio, Fox Sports Radio. It's depressing for them.
I'm not gonna say depressing, but mainly
it's upsetting news that could make you depressed once the sanctions finally come down. Oh, wow. Oh, I hope you guys are watching that. Now, there's still some time left. Turn it to ESPN. We're not allowed to really tell you guys because we don't want anything to happen with ESPN. Hey, ESPN, we're promoting for them to turn to you. So turn to ESPN quickly to watch the outcome of Memphis San Antonio. Do it. All right. Let's get back to our sad news of the day. This goes to UNC and U of L fans. That's Louisville and North Carolina for those who don't know. Sanctions are possibly coming. Hell's coming with it.
Okay, that's okay. It's his way of saying, okay, Louisville, they met with the NCAA Infractions Committee earlier this week, discuss the possible sanctions of, the scandals, with the escorts and
hookers.
Escorts would be.
What, you want to get a professional name? That's a profession now? Like in a different country, not in the United States, unless you're out there by Nevada, the Bunny Ranch.
I said, whatever you want to call them.
You can call them Lamar Odom's Black Book.
Oh, come on now. No.
He calls those girls up.
No.
He does. He was at the brothel house. He fell down and collapsed. Remember that?
Yeah, that's it. Well, look. If y'all watching this, all this shade, this is on him. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay. But anyway, okay. Back to what we were saying. Okay. Louisville met with the NCAA Infractions Committee earlier this week. Discuss the. And say the potential. Of the sanctions being handed out. As punishment, for the scandal that happened last, a couple of summers ago, and which the scheduled target dates, it said 6 to 8 weeks, which from now is somewhere between the 9th and 23rd of June.
9th and 23rd. June. So, life is going to become hell in June. It's going to be hot, and their ass is on the hot seat. They're in trouble. Didn't they try to, remember we were talking about this, that they said that they already self-imposed themselves, and they try to let that go in as the, oh wow.
Yes, I say they did. But either way, somebody's gonna get burned. I say Lou's probably gonna have their butts burned one way or the other.
And another one who's going to hell right along with them, not necessarily for messing with escorts. Will be UNC. And possibly by August, possibly by the month of August, somewhere at the beginning, middle, or end, and maybe you're looking at September 1st, something like that. In between those times, something's going to come down on them too. There was articles about the SEC commissioner who's like a chairman on this investigation committee that's looking into North Carolina stuff. They wanted him off the investigation stuff because he's really pushing it.
But he said it himself. He's not stepping down.
He ain't stepping down. It needs to be done, guys. This is ridiculous. And guess what, North Carolina? You've got 6 right now, but I think by maybe September, and I hope this year, I could be meaning September of next year. Either way, you have 6 right now, and it could be back to 5, or maybe even 4. But I'll say it'll go back to 5. But maybe even 4, but I doubt it. But you guys are going to lose 1. I think they lose 1. Maybe you don't. You know what? I don't want to piss off North Carolina fans. You're already going to be pissed off about the news of you being sucked out of the NCAA tourney, not being able to play in it, because even if you don't lose any championships, you are going to lose scholarships and at least a postseason ban for a year. Do you agree with that outcome at least? Even if they don't lose a basketball championship and a cheerleading champ, well, I don't even think they won a cheerleading, or a golf championship, whatever the hell y'all won.
Well, I just say, well, you know what? I don't know. I guess you just pretty much just have to wait and see.
Why did they let him get the ball? He's gonna make the game winner. Shoot it, Kawhi. Oh my God! All right, he bricked it. Okay, he airballed it actually.
Okay, well, I said you pretty much just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, because I don't know.
I said with both schools. I mean,
you're talking about the game. I thought you were talking about the game.
No.
Wait.
I just said for those y'all turn to ESPN. I just okay. That's it. As for North Carolina and Louisville, you pretty much just have to wait and see what happens with both of them.
But best believe, when it does happen, we are going to have a celebration. We might get one of those little popper things, and confetti might come out. I'm going to get a little one. Like you see on New Year's? I bet you I can go to Party City or something and get those. I'm going to pop those damn things.
I'm not going to do all that.
Hey, and I said this the other day, this opens the door for someone like Michigan State. Someone who's always there every year because they have a good coach in Tom Izzo, and they usually have some decent recruits or some top-tier recruits, and they usually do okay, and they usually make a decent tournament run. But this could push them past usually making decent tournament runs. This could push them into Final Fours and maybe a championship because 2 other powerhouse teams that would be standing in their way sometimes, who they don't necessarily play, but they don't have these big rivals with them. But when you take 2 big pieces out of a pie, it leaves more room for the other pieces. You get what I'm saying? And so they wouldn't have to ever see Louisville and North Carolina for probably the next 2 years. And they'll lose some of those recruits, and Michigan State may gain some of those recruits, just like Kentucky and just like Duke and just like Kansas. And maybe even that third-rated coach Archie Miller for IU might gain some of those damn coaches. I mean, sorry, damn players. Not coaches.
Shade people.
I messed up on that part when I said coaches. I mean, it's okay. So even they might do better because of the what would you say, the misfortunes of North Carolina and Louisville. Actually, not they just messed up. They said, here's fake papers, and here's a girl on speed dial that will, and I bleeped all that out right there. You guys know. I'm not saying anything else that I shouldn't say.
Yeah, I just say, well, use your own imagination on that one.
Well.
Or I said, or better yet, just go get the book Breaking Cardinal Rules. I've read a couple pages of it.
Yeah. And if you're interested, I'm not going to say that part. I'll say that. Because I was going to say something really bad. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to promote anything. Anyways. Was there anything else I wanted to say tonight before we get off here? And I think we've covered everything that we had marked down. We actually wrote down something on a book tonight, guys. Wrote it down just for you.
I just said, yeah. I just say, yeah, you know what? I think we did. I just say, cause pretty much we just come up with a whole lot of stuff, and we just go and we just run with it.
We do. We run with it. We try to make it appealing to you guys. I say some comments off the wall that are kind of funny. I get him laughing. I hope I get you guys laughing. I may even get you pissed off, and so be it. We like, people watching, and we usually we've been doing good lately. People have been watching. We appreciate that, and we really hope you keep watching, and we hope you enjoyed this one. And you anything else left to say?
Well, I would say I don't have too much. I just say, but I just said I enjoy it. I just said I'll try. I just said I'll try. I just said I'll try to give y'all the facts. I just said that's able.
Sometimes we're off on numbers and stuff. Yeah. We don't have a teleprompt in front of us. Matter of fact, we had a notebook.
We just had our own notebook.
We're not ESPN or Hey Kentucky or Kentucky Sports Radio.
We're not Fox Sports, nothing like that.
Yeah.
We're
slightly above Fox Sports.
No. But I mean, it's not like
they're like the Archie Miller of college. They're the Archie Miller of sports shows.
Okay, see that's another thing. I just see you've probably been watching this show and you're probably thinking there's a lot of shady comments. I said, well, he throws a hell of a lot more shade than I do.
A lot of them are just fun and poke, like the Louisville situation. Another one. So that's all we got time for tonight, guys. Only 27 minutes. We're going to be under 30 for sure. Well, I'm Localjohn1812. This is...
I'm Jrod84.
Don't forget to like, share.
Subscribe, comment.
We'd appreciate that. And we'll see you next time, guys, on another Sportscast show.
All right, take care, y'all.
Later.